All right, futures bouncing back a little bit here after yesterday's sell-off, or tech wreck, I guess you could say. S&P futures holding higher here by 0.33%. The Dow futures up by 0.14%, and the NASDAQ leads the way higher at 0.59%. Now let's take a look at some cues from last session here, as well as what we have going on for today. Sectors that gained and lost on Tuesday include consumer staples and healthcare, which moved higher, while information technology, industrials, and materials finished among the session's biggest laggards. U.S. stock futures were mixed on Wednesday, although they're all in the green now, as the Dow fell, but the NASDAQ and the S&P rose. Dow has now joined the party, thankfully. President Trump instructed the Department of Justice, or DOJ, to look into oil firms for not lowering retail fuel costs as crude price continue to drop. In fact, crude's down again here this morning. Let me actually get that for you here real quick. Sorry, I didn't have it ready. Crude down another 3% here, and the oil futures in a 71 handle. So those do indeed continue to drop here. In an early Wednesday post on Truth Social, Trump claimed that energy corporations are overcharging consumers because their pump prices do not reflect the much cheaper rates that they are currently paying for crude. Quote, gasoline prices better start going down a lot faster than what I'm seeing. Even used an exclamation point in there, end quote. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.46%, and the 2-year bond was at 4.19%. The CME Group's Fed Watch Tool projections show that the markets are pricing in a 63.7% likelihood of the Federal Reserve leaving the current interest rates unchanged during the July meeting. Now, we've got several stocks in focus here for you today, and the big one, or the first one here, is going to be the big earnings report from yesterday. That's going to be FedEx. The ticker on this is FDX, and it dropped 6.77% in the pre-market on Wednesday, despite beating earnings estimates. The impacts of shifting trade policy, given the tariffs, led to shrinking operating margins. We're going to cover the FedEx report here in just a sec. The next stock on the list is going to be Cerebras Systems. The ticker is CBRS. This was our first big AI IPO this year. It tumbled 11.34% despite topping earnings expectations. CEO Andrew Feldman said Tuesday the biggest constraint on artificial intelligence growth is no longer chip supply or customer demand, but the availability of data centers needed to deploy the AI infrastructure at scale. Interesting. We're going to look at that here in a little bit. The next stocks for you here are actually going to be Verizon and Google. Verizon, ticker VZ, slipped 0.36%, and Alphabet, ticker GOOG, rose 0.45% as the Google parent is set to replace Verizon in the Dow Jones Industrial Average on June 29th. The next stock on our list is going to be KB Homes, and the ticker on this one is KBH. It gained 3.52% after reporting mixed financial results for the second quarter after the market closed yesterday. And the last stock on our list is the big earnings report for today. It is Micron, ticker MU. It was up 4.83% as analysts expected to post quarterly earnings of $20.47 per share on revenue of $35.42 billion. And again, that comes after the closing bell today.